Alrighty, we are back, and today, during the Dokkan off season, if you will, we're going to be talking about some EZAs that I think could be coming up, could be really good, could be really bad, all of that fun stuff. Because again, there's just not much going on. There's like a Halloween character and stuff like that, and I just don't think you guys subscribe to this channel for videos like that. So we'll let that one go. The new Halloween character, they're free, so maybe we could talk about them in another video. But what I want to take a look at today again is the EZAs left and potentially what that could mean for future celebrations, and sort of just talk about the ones that we don't have and the implications that those could provide. So if that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new, so that way you don't miss out on any Dokkan content. But thank you guys for watching in advance, and let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, this graphic is courtesy of @MisakaK1 on Twitter. Very good follow if you want to see, like you guys can see right here. They do a good job with some of the stuff that we want to know, like information that's just kind of cool. Like this is a translated version, but Stone Celebration, stuff like that, right? Again, I don't know them personally, but this is a good follow if you were on Twitter. A lot of Japanese, but again, you can get the information from the graphics. So thank you to MisakaK1. I will leave a link in the description to their Twitter. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and look at 2020, right? Let's open this in a new tab so it's a little easier to look at, shall we? With 2020, this one's pretty simple. It's literally just one character left, and that is Angel Golden Frieza. Now, with Angel Golden Frieza, I don't know what the time frame is for this character at this point. We are well past their release. I think soon, actually, they are coming up on literally 5 years old. What's going to be the easiest way to do this? So if we go to Frieza, and we go right here, and we find our boy Final Form Frieza, or Angel Golden Frieza here. This character released in January of 2021, but if we go right here and turn this to the Japan region, we will now see they came out on October 5th, 2020. So yes, we are now over 5 years old on the game. So that is very interesting for this Golden Frieza. At this point, this is the only major 2020 character left. You guys can see from the image here, all the ones on this left row where my cursor's at, they are completely done. So we no longer have to worry about any character from 2020, but this Angel Golden Frieza. Now, you may be asking, what celebration could they possibly save this for? And I say to you, that's a good question, because I really do not know at this point when we could potentially be seeing an EZA for this character. Now, in theory, it should have happened a long time ago. Considering that the 7-year LRs are EZA'd, the 6-year LRs are EZA'd, it is very, very possible that the 8-year anniversary LRs EZA before this guy gets his, which doesn't make sense, right? That's the whole purpose of the mechanic, is to revitalize old characters, and yet we have not received it yet for this Angel Golden Frieza. So to me, that speaks volumes to the fact that to the dismay of many, I'm sure, that there is probably another Tournament of Power celebration coming in the future where they are saving this guy's EZA for. But I think that this unit actually has some potential with his EZA due to the fact that in his base form, he is a defensive stacker. Now, if we go into Golden Frieza, right, Golden Frieza here, he only massively raises his attack. We have damage reduction in the kit. We have a chance to stun. This is a very, very old character, so do keep that in mind. And what makes this character so unique is the fact that he can just go golden literally whenever you want in the fight. From the first turn, you can transform into Golden Frieza depending on the situation that you need. If you want to stack and stuff like that, or if you need to seal because you know that normals aren't going to be a problem, you can do that. Or if you know there's no attacks in slot 1, then you can turn into Golden Frieza, stun the enemy, keep him stun locked with somebody else. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this unit that make it worth running him in specific events. So I do think that this Golden Frieza is very good, but just when it comes down to when he could EZA, that's a good question. I'm not really too sure at this point where it would be, but I do know that it would either be in a Resurrected Warriors sort of celebration, right? Maybe they would do like another Super Gogeta. I don't think that would be the case, like Time Limit. Like, think about categories that could potentially get a celebration. I don't think that Mastered Evolution is specifically going to be getting a celebration, right? Like this just completely revolving around the Mastered Evolution category. It's the same thing with something like Transformation Boost, where all the units could be on Transformation Boost, but it's not like a Transformation Boost centric sort of thing here that we are looking at, right? I think it would be more of like Reps of U7, Resurrected Warriors all happen to lump into one thing because of like a Super Gogeta or an Angel character, right? Tournament of Power and tournament participants, right? These categories could easily get their own celebrations that could make things interesting. So Golden Frieza, to me, this is the prime suspect now. We have reached a point where all of the characters from 2020 have gotten their EZA. I believe, who was the last domino to fall? I believe it was this Gohan right here was the last EZA that we needed. Him alongside Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who you can't see perfectly in this image. We have it zoomed in a little bit, but Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here is on the left side. So that is all that there is left for 2020. Now, if we look at 2021, we're going to be dividing this into two sections, right? The first one is going to be one that's centered around movies and specials, right? And that is going to be the EZAs for this Kid Gohan, as well as Goku and Piccolo, and Tapion and Minosha. So with Tapion and Minosha, we'll just go in order here with Tapion and Minosha. Like I said, I think that movies would probably make the most sense, where you could probably just double down on Tapion and Minosha as well as Goku and Piccolo, right? I think that that would make a lot of sense. Just due to the fact that both of these characters are coming from movies, right? This being Wrath of the Dragon, and this being the fight from the Dead Zone against Garlic Jr., right? And what's interesting about this character in specific is with their EZA, we already have something in the files that we saw. I believe it was before the worldwide download celebration of 2024. We had something in here for this specific character. Now, if we look at the super attack effects, what do we have here? Raising attack and defense for one turn on both effects. And things like that. It's very interesting. And we also are going to be getting extra key on their active skill. This is a very mid character right now, but like when you can build up, right, there is some potential. But it is like just in a tough spot right now. I don't really know where you're going to be running this guy all the time. It is just a unique situation here for this unit. But again, any celebration that revolves around movies, I think that there's a window that potentially opens for this unit to get their EZA. So when we look at that there, right, maybe they want to visit, like, we could just look at the graphic, right? We'll talk about Tapion and Minosha in a moment. But like, you know, we go to any form of movies, right? Like they go back to, I think Broly is done for a decent bit. Like at this point, we do not need Broly. Let's zoom out a little bit. I don't like that for the video. Yeah, there we go. I got it. But I don't like Broly for another movie celebration, right? Like we've gotten enough since the start of 2024. Like every form of Broly has gotten their representation at this point, right? Wrathful Broly, Z Broly, Base Z Broly, Super Saiyan Broly from the Second Coming, right? And the with his EZA, like every form of Broly at this point has gotten an update. So hopefully they don't do that, but anything that's revolving around like Goku and Piccolo, or a celebration that revolves around like a Kid Gohan or something, like a Kid Gohan celebration, again, could potentially work. Maybe they do like a Saiyan Saga Kid Gohan, right? Like that wouldn't be the most hype thing in the world, but like the Leave My Dad Alone Kid Gohan gets like a real like Dokkan Fest, but he does have that LR. So I'm not sure. Maybe like a Gohan and Krillin from the Vegeta fight, where they like there's a skill with the Spirit Bomb. That's like in Kaioken Goku, so I'm not sure. It's tough, but like a movie celebration, this could all work here for Tapion and Minosha as well as Kid Gohan. It just comes down to like when they want to do it, but again, it's interesting to think about. So when we look at Tapion and Minosha, I think that this active skill has a potential to really shift things if they were to get their EZA. And again, storied figures or siblings bond is a little bit tricky, but if we pull up siblings bond, where are your category? I'm not as good with this website, but I know it's good for videos. If we look at siblings bond here, it's like you're almost forced to run like this unit right now. Mercenary Tau, I guess, but again, we don't really have a real siblings bond category leader. These guys are just old, right? And then this is just like a filler unit. 18. So when we look at siblings bond, this just isn't a real team right now, and that's a bit of the problem. So you would need that, or if we go here, we would go back, we would need a storied figures. And if you guys don't know, storied figures may be the most pointless category in Dokkan. There are good characters here, but in terms of how you're running it, it's a nothing burger, right? Like you're not running storied figures. Like you would run them on like the Fat Boo team, and that would be the way that you would have to make it work. Like this is not a real team. This category sucks, right? If like your rotations, like you have to set up like PyCon with somebody, Bojack with somebody, Kid Boo, Bardock. Like this team stinks. So just keep that in mind. This active skill effect probably wouldn't change, and needing siblings bond could potentially make things a little bit tricky. You would need like a movie heroes Vegeta. I think that would probably be the best way to go about it to really get that active skill. But the fact that it removes all allies' negative effects for those 2 turns, right? Or just on that turn, being able to unlock, unseal, all of these things are extremely, extremely valuable. And I think that it could end up being a very good EZA. So like a movie celebration, I think would make a lot of sense for these units to get their EZA, because we are to the point where it's like, it's about time that we got one for Tapion and Minosha. Again, being in 2021, that is how it's going to be. But the next 3 that we need to talk about, this one I think is really interesting because they could easily just bang, 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 like all 3 of these in one celebration, right? And that is the future stuff that we have here. You guys can see Trunks, the androids, and then Trunks and Gohan. This one is like such a layup for Dokkan if they did a future theme celebration. We go to future again. We stay away from the Zamasu and the Vegito Blue side of things, and we stay more grounded to Dragon Ball Z. And you are going to notice that we have a lot of good stuff here. Again, Trunks right here. Where are the androids at? I'm not used to the global release schedule. The androids and then Trunks and Gohan, right? So with Trunks, all I really want from this EZA is an incentive to transform. That would make sense. Like during 2026, I think we could easily get like a quick Future Saga celebration where we see all 3 of these characters get their EZA. The tech androids is one of the most anticipated, maybe in a long time, just due to the fact of how good they are in short form content with that Ghost Usher. If we can make them long-term viable, medium viable, like not just 3-turn fight viable, like this is a very, 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 very interesting character. So hopefully they're EZA, they knock it out of the park. And then when we look at future Gohan and Trunks as well, this is also going to be one of those extremely interesting characters due to the fact that they have a revival. And I do like future Gohan after you do revive and get like all that stuff going, right? You become much better after you're reviving. Almost 60% damage reduction right here. We get guard. If we have low HP, we get a scouter, a guaranteed additional super. We just need some orb changing in here and we're good to go. Like this could be a very, very good EZA. Defense on super. There's a lot of really easy things that this EZA could have. And it would really make for a good celebration. And again, these are 3 of some of the more anticipated EZAs in the game. So I would definitely like to see them get their buffs for sure. But if we move along, right, and we look at what's next, 2022 is where the waters get a bit muddy, right? This is where things get a little bit trickier to sort of nail down because of the simple fact that there is a lot of variety in these units, right? Where it's like, this one is pretty easy. We just cover movies. This one, we cover future. We go Tournament of Power. But then we have a lot of color over here, right? Most of this has been black and white. A lot of colors in here. You know what I mean? So it does get a little tricky when it comes to how we are going to handle the EZAs for this celebration, for some of these. Now, what I think personally that they are going to do is for the, we'll talk about the big ones first, right? Like some of the most anticipated ones. The cooler movie stuff, I think is all going to be done in batches. I think during like an anniversary or a global Dokkan campaign, this is when we are going to be seeing the cooler movie stuff get their EZA, or all of these characters at like in a batch, right? So 2 and 2, maybe 4 Extreme Z battles, however they want to do it, right? That's probably what I would expect here from that specific setup. Then, if we go to the top, I think we would have a Saiyan Saga celebration that would take care of this right here. So, like maybe a Dokkan Fest Goku from the Vegeta fight, or a Dokkan Fest Vegeta from the Vegeta fight, right? Something like that. I think we could definitely get something where we get these 2 with their EZA. Now, I know Raditz, you know, bless his name. We've talked about Raditz plenty on this channel. It's an interesting spot for him right now due to the fact that I'm rooting for this to be like the best character when they drop. Now, is that likely? Absolutely not, but I would like to see it. So Raditz with Goku and Piccolo, I think they would get their EZAs in a very similar window as well. Now, when it comes to Majin Vegeta, it just depends on when they want to go back to the Buu Saga. I think that this could happen in 2026 for sure. The Buu Saga is extremely vast. We know this. There is so many different ways that we can buff the Buu Saga, and it doesn't have to be like very specific. And the thing about the Buu Saga as well is it expands beyond just the Z material, and we've seen that in the past, right? Where characters from movies and things like that have been added to this category. Because if we look right here and we go back to the beginning of 2024, where is he at? This is Dragon Fist Goku. He's from a movie, right? So these guys are from a movie. So we know that they can go back at any time that they want, right? They want to do something from Wrath of the Dragon. They want to do a Dokkan Fest Tapion, right? We could technically be getting like buffs from the Buu Saga that kind of creep into here. And then all of a sudden, Majin Vegeta gets an EZA. And Majin Vegeta's EZA in specific, I think would be really special due to the fact that Majin Vegeta's Dokkan Fest was actually Oh my God, stop. Majin Vegeta's Dokkan Fest was, believe it or not, the first 200% leader skill on Global, as this unit released on the third week of March in 2022, right after the 7th anniversary had ended over on JP. So this unit was special for a lot of people because this was the first taste of the 200% leader skill meta that we were entering that year. And this is also just a really cool unit here. So hopefully this unit's EZA is good. I think that there's potential for it. And then if we ever go to the Buu Saga, this would definitely be one of the first characters that I'm looking out for. But if we continue to look here, we then have the ROF Blues as well as Goku and Gohan. So Goku and Gohan, pretty simple. I think in 2026, maybe like a bonded parent-child theme celebration, a Goku family theme celebration, something that's revolving around Super Saiyans. I could easily see that happening because, you know, it's a yellow coin LR. And I think a lot of people would be pretty excited for Goku and Gohan's EZA, as that did feel like kind of a small taste of what the 7-year LRs felt like on Global before they had them. So that is sort of how that felt. And then the ROF Blues, we thought we were going to be getting during the Tanabata campaign, but unfortunately, or the Transcendent Dokkan campaign, unfortunately, we did not get it. Now, for those of you who have been around here for a while, you know that this specific unit here where my cursor is at has a little bit of lore. Tech Pan, the person asking for the Tech Pan showcase. I don't know where they're at. I think I saw them in one of my streams recently, but they no longer ask for the comments, and that's because they would not give her the EZA. That was the condition, right? I said I would showcase Pan if she got her EZA, and it just hasn't happened yet. But if they go to GT, this is the betting favorite for who is going to be getting an EZA. Now, with GDC having a lot of GT ties, I'm not sure when that is going to be, but they could easily do like a Bond of Friendship, Dragon Ball Seekers, Youth, something like that. A campaign that's centered around that is where things could get very interesting when it comes to like when we can potentially get that EZA. But let's wrap these next two up quickly, and then we'll dive into Superhero. Bardock, no idea, right? Goku family, same idea as Goku and Gohan. And then these guys as well would be like a movie heroes thing. So last but not least, we'll talk about superheroes, and then we will call it quits there. But if we go over here to the superhero category, close all these tabs out. We don't need so many tabs open, you know? If we go over here and we go to Superhero, yeah, right here. With superheroes, this has potential to be like an absolutely insane run for Dokkan right here. 4 EZAs that a lot of people are looking forward to, right? If you guys remember when these units dropped, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 were extremely, extremely good. Like, I'm talking, like, that rotation was absolutely insane. We're talking like a perfect synergy rotation right here. Gohan and Piccolo, not so much, right? Did they share links? Sure, but this was not like a perfect pairing, right? These characters did sort of fulfill different roles compared to Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, where Gamma 1, this may sound crazy, but the unit named number 1 goes in slot 1, and the unit number 2 goes in slot 2. This was far and away one of the best celebrations or rotations when they came out, right? Like, these guys with an EZA could be absolutely insane. And then with these two, Ultimate Gohan, we are looking for a redemption arc. And then Orange Piccolo, we are looking for a return to form, where he was the best character in the game. One of the best characters Dokkan has ever released in terms of where they were with the rest of the game at the time, how dominant they were in content, how long they were the best character in the game. This Orange Piccolo, when will he EZA? That's a good question. I think really New Year's, there's potential there. And if we go into the movies again, depending on what this new Dokkan Fest is going to be, that's going to be announced on the 25th, we could potentially see the Gammas get something as well. So there we have it. All of the units who have yet to get their EZA and when they could potentially happen. You guys need to let me know down below. What do you think? What EZAs are you excited for? Are we excited for Chaditz? Are we excited for Golden Frieza? Where is Golden Frieza, right? Will Bird Coup be good? Will Cooler be good? I think these 4 have a lot of very interesting potential. Not so much the Goku and Vegeta, but Metal Cooler with like a free revive could be like a light version of Int Fat Buu. So again, all of that fun stuff. Let me know what you think down below. I appreciate you guys who are rocking with me during this extremely, extremely slow period for the game. Things for Dokkan are very slow right now, right? Like, I have to emphasize that in my videos, where there's just not a lot going on, and we got to figure out, and we got to make do with what we got, right? Unfortunately, nobody cared about Gohan and Goten, but it is what it is. But I really do just want to say I appreciate you guys rocking with the channel when Dokkan is not like, you know, in full swing, and you guys can count on all of the great content that you're expecting around here, as much I can do to my best ability moving forward. So Again, thank you guys. I do appreciate you a lot. And if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed already and you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe as well. I need your support during times like this when the game is a little bit slow. It shows you guys are rocking with me, and I very much appreciate it. So if you want to become a member, you can consider joining down below, hitting the join button or clicking the link in the description. And make sure you go check out Masaka K on Twitter to make sure that you're staying on top of things like these EZAs and stone counts at the end of celebrations, all of that fun stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you were new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Love you guys.